Hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. For this episode, we're going to be looking at another Robot Spirits. This is from the cost signature line, specifically the Byarlant Custom. That's right. This was released, I think, 2012. But before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe. And as you're watching this video and you think it's cool, give it a like. And check the links in the description for like the Patreon, the Discord. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, let's get started. All right. And here we go. Here is the Byarlant Custom. Again, not a Gunpla. This is the Robot Spirits, but the cost signature. So it has the real type markings. That's kind of an attribute of the cost signature, other than, you know, it being designed by Hajime Katoki. Some elements that are very interesting is due to the age of this Robot Spirits, it actually didn't have the decals on it already like some do. Instead, they were water slide decals that you had to put on. And what's very interesting is because of the age of this, the water slide decals themselves were very brittle, and they were actually hard to remove off of the cardboard backing, and I was afraid I would mess it up. But as we go, you know, take a look at it. I think with the lighting that's going on here, especially I have this light I use for the figures, it's really, really showing off the texture of the decal to make it, you know, appear different, you know, than the rest. I even tried to use some of that decal softener just to kind of give it that look, but you can still see it. But really, it's this lighting. By taking pictures in more controlled lighting space, I can make sure to kind of remove the trace of the decals. All right, I'll take it off the stand. We'll get started with kind of just looking at this. So the Byarlant Custom, a very awesome mobile suit. You know, it's featured in Unicorn, but it was based off what was in Zeta or started by the Titans, although that looked a little different. It actually had kind of more traditional arms in a sense. It still had kind of the claws at the end, or the manipulators, but they were still able to work well. You know, what's different canonically with this is the larger claw on the forearms and this kind of beam cannon that's built into the arm. So really its weaponry is limited to that. But as we can see from Unicorn, the Byarlant Custom kicked ass. So that's kind of where it kind of took note of this. But also interesting looking at the previous Byarlants, there are differences with these. Okay, so for the head up here, you know, it's really hard to get that cool look out of it that we're all used to. A lot of it just has to do with how hidden the head is, especially when you're looking at it from a distance. But it is all there, and it has that menacing look. You know, the original had kind of the mono eye. For this, the Federation wanted to give it more of a GM visor. But yeah, kind of looking at it, there's you know, other than the head here, which is just kind of minimal, I guess, there's not too much here. It has a lot going on with the shoulders. They can go high, they can go down. And as we look at the anatomy of this and look at the articulation, I keep in mind how this isn't built like a traditional mobile suit, which are very humanoid. I mean, this still kind of has that bipedal humanoid shape, but it really kind of goes a little further, especially when it comes to the shoulders. It looks like some of the use of the arms, for instance, actually comes off the thruster part. That is a main part of this, you know. And when we see the Byarlant Custom, it's very mobile in battle, and also being in Earth's atmosphere, like the Battle of Torrington. The way it's built allows it to maneuver quickly, and it kind of gives it an edge in battle. Yeah, and that goes, you know, for these thrusters that are here. These are all movable here, and it's got this thruster guard, what have you here. It's also got some more here, and this also moves around however you'd like. In fact, this actually comes off, so it looks like that. Now, I haven't really looked into the purpose, if there's a specific reason for that. And then, you know, coming back here, we have these canisters here, the fuel canisters, propellants, but and it has this movable piece, which is really cool. But you see just yet another thruster. And this, it has a ball joint here, but it also turns here. So there's some little hidden articulation in areas you might not care for, or might not care to look for. Like back here, not only does it have the ball joint here, but even on this back part here. And yeah, as we're going, just looking at where I put some of the decals, I used images from the box, and someone that had put decals on posted some pictures online on their blog. I think it was that Gumpla. I'll try to find the link for it. Yeah, I try my best to make it as accurate as possible, and I think it worked out pretty good. But anyway, back here, another little thruster. This is kind of like a back skirt thruster, and it has, a little bit of articulation, just nothing. Well, let's see, does it move? Oh, no, it just comes off. So, yeah, there we go. Just very limited. All right, and it's true for the other side when it comes to like thrusters and the articulation. So we can see how it's real top heavy with the thrusters. Canonically, that's what gives it its maneuverability. See, actually, yeah, the arms. So it's on the end of the shoulder that not only does this have its own ball joint, but you can look at all of that articulation down there. It's got hinges. It's got areas to rotate. Even it's this, I would probably have to tighten up. It's kind of dropping down, which is not too nice. But when we come here to where the bicep would be, there's the cabling in there, and that actually just moves in and out as you move this. So that is pretty cool. Yeah, and as you saw, it moves with the blaster, but also the blaster can come apart too, because then you can also maneuver or manipulate these claws however you feel you need to. I mean, it looks like with this type of unit, they would be able to capture mobile suits easily, or even in battle. And like we saw, a lot of close combat is very easy with these. And then we can see the stickers on here. They're both sides. When I was putting the rest of the stickers on, those went missing. I hate it when that happens. They were next to me. I was able to pick them up, wet them again, and put them on. Well, yeah, with the claws, there is a lot of articulation here, because these move. Yeah, this part, these can come off actually if you mess with it, but it's easy to put back on. But you can kind of see they added a lot of movement and articulation here. Okay, so waist. Let's see. It looks like it stops as you're turning, but that's okay. That's still some good rotation there. Yeah, you can get some good poses out of there potentially. And then it's got these sort of upper side skirts, and they move around. And then it's got these other side skirts, and then it's got like ball joints within ball joints here to allow the legs to move however you need them to, except up. I mean, you could probably, manipulate that. I mean, you can get some crazy articulation out of there. Very cool. And then moving down, we've got the knee. Okay, the knee does its thing. That's all right. Nothing crazy. Moving down the foot. Yeah, that goes back quite a bit. And it's got these back sort of heel, but also I think it moves up when it's flying around. And then, another little side protector shield thing here that has its own ball joint. It's kind of a different shape than a typical mobile suit, but it's got the articulation where you'd expect it, and maybe even plus some, since it's got more of a slimmer profile that allows many things to not get in the way, except for, as you saw with this, just be careful as you use this, because these can move up and down and kind of get in the way and not realize it. But again, as for those decals, anything that is a decal is something I put on. There were no decals already on here. They were a bit old, so one was hard to put on, and two, I don't know if some of them look the best. And that's another thing. A lot of times when you put decals on a Gunpla, you want to put a top coat, and with this, it already has a matte textured finish on it. I don't know if it's something that is known. I mean, I've put a top coat on a Robot Spirits before, but something like this that already had a nice finish on it, I wasn't too crazy about doing that. All right, so for accessories, there's not much really. It comes with this stand adapter. Kind of disappointed it didn't already have a hole in there, but that's kind of what those earlier Robot Spirits were like. You can slide something in here. It's not too stable. All right, so here we go. It's on the stand. You can, mess with it. I feel like, it's going to move every once in a while, but, it works. You can get it to stand, because I see this in flight poses more, really, than standing. And to try to get it to stand is actually pretty difficult, so you do want to make sure you have these back heel pieces articulated down correctly from up, because that that can make a difference here. So yeah, we kind of keep these down and kind of spread out to give it good. And then, there's a lot of weight in the back because of those canisters. So, another thing I guess to consider is if it's going to be standing up, the thruster's weight can be distributed in a way that would make more sense for it just standing. So yeah, like that, it can stand. So actually, that's pretty good. I got to keep that in mind. Okay, so for the other accessories other than that stand adapter, we could see where in the thruster part, effect piece that goes in, it's a little interesting because the point that connects in versus that, it's a lot larger, but it's like inside, so you kind of got to push it in a little more to get it in. But there you go. That's it, like fully decked out. Because it didn't really come with much. But it looks cool, great for poses. I love just the weapon system on this. All right, and here's it standing next to a unicorn and a GM Quell. Let me take off the effect part so it's just not taking up space. But yeah, I mean, the unicorn's a bigger mobile suit anyway, during that time. But, the Byarlant, it seems just so much bigger, But the main takeaway is the slim profile. So it's not really like a big, bulky machine. This is kind of a different mobile suit to begin with when you look at how kind of thin it is. And then next to the GM Quell, very cool. Something that's interesting about it is that it has that the almost Titan look. Because I guess if you consider when they designed the Byarlant, but it had a different color, and then this is kind of closer to the Titan's colors, but that's later on. But another similar color too that is the baby blue that they share. Sorry, well, this is from the Metal Robot Spirits Rigazi Custom. Here's the Byarlant Custom standing next to each other, both sharing that baby blue color. It makes sense that the unicorn would be taller than the Rigazi Custom. I think from the angle, it doesn't look like it, but, here in front of me. The Rigazi Custom, Byarlant Custom, looks fantastic. Guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, because I think this is a sick suit. Robot Spirit's a little older. It's just interesting articulation to it. It's cool. It's interesting putting actually decals on something like that. That they come with decals like they're supposed to. So is there any tricks of the trade, when it comes to officially water slide decaling a Robot Spirit, let me know. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk next time.